New numbers out from Customs and Border Patrol showing 153,000 apprehensions of illegal immigrants and more than 45,000 so-called gotaways. That includes the northern border with Canada. They're including that in those numbers apparently now.
Okay. For a closer look, let's head to Dilley, Texas. Border correspondent Jason Jones joins us now. Jason.
Heather, Bob, it's good to be with you guys. I got to tell you, these are the numbers coming in preliminarily from January. Now, here's why it's significant. It's because when we look back to last year in the worst border crisis in American history, during the month of January, we only had 78,000 apprehensions. And what that really tells us is it forecasts month after month where we're going to be in fiscal year 22. So if we look at this fiscal year so far for a 4-month period, October, November, December, and January, CBP has now apprehended 670,000 people in 4 months, when the numbers are usually at their lowest because it's wintertime. So we're going to see a clear escalation. How bad it's going to get, this puts us at the end of the year somewhere around 2 million people. These are numbers we've never seen. So we thought last year was bad. Get ready for fiscal year 22.
Interesting. Do you know why we are now specifying that the numbers are that we're giving out are including the northern border and not just the southern border?
Yeah, they include those when we get them. The problem is what's not really well known and understood is that usually the northern border only apprehends somewhere between 1,000 people to around 1,500 on average. So when you get that number, Heather, you need to know that that's pretty close to what we're seeing along that southwest border.
Yeah.
And the way things are going right now, do you see any change, Jason, along the border, or is this just a resignation from the folks that live down there and work down there?
Well, I think that's part of the frustration, Bob. I mean, where is the Secretary Mayorkas to discuss with the American people what's happening and what this means? Because, if you're sitting up north in New York or Philadelphia, you're going to see the impacts of the southwest border much differently. They're seeing it in the realm of overdose deaths, now sitting at 101,000 since we've last discussed this, according to CDC. So those overdose deaths are climbing, and we can see clear parallel between those coming in our country and being apprehended, which as those numbers skyrocket, so do the numbers of overdose poisonings in this country, directly linked to those cartels, which we hear nothing about from the White House or the DHS Secretary.
Yeah. All right. Well, Jason, thank you very much for joining us. We always appreciate it. Well, joining us now for some more reaction, let's bring in Florida Congresswoman and member of the Homeland Security Committee, Congresswoman Kat Cammack. Thank you very much for joining us, Congresswoman. I actually almost laughed at myself when I heard myself saying, well, these include the numbers from the northern border, knowing that the numbers from the northern border are insignificant compared to what's happening at the southern border.
Yeah, it's just more misdirection from this administration. It's laughable that they are now stipulating, oh, well, this includes the northern border as well, because we've known for this entire time that the southwest border really is open, it's porous, and it's where the majority of people, the vast majority of people, are coming through. So for us to get these numbers and then to stipulate that, this includes the northern borders, you have
and
to
for
wonder,
me to fall prey to that and actually participate in that and what they're wanting us to do, which is deflect on what's really going on, I'm mad at myself for saying it. So I'll just point it out. It makes no sense. Okay.
Yeah.
But we
ridiculous.
Exactly.
We knew it was something like that.
Yeah.
I did want to get your opinion on what's coming out of the White House regarding Ukraine, Russia. I'm trying to read between the lines, and I keep going back in my head to that momentary slip that the president had when he talked about an incursion of Ukraine, that would be different from a full-out invasion. It's almost like there was a negotiation that went on, maybe more one-directional than two-directional, to say, we're going to take part of Ukraine, just get ready for it. And they were trying to figure out a way to sell that to the American people. Now, I may be completely wrong on that, but I wanted to get your opinion.
Well, this is what's so crazy. We're just talking about the border. We all know that this is a crisis. You both have covered this extensively and have done a fantastic job of really exposing what is happening at the southwest border, yet the administration talks nothing about it. Now they want us to redirect focus to Ukraine and the Ukrainian border. You know, I think of how words matter in the context of global leadership and national leadership. And coming out of the White House, Biden's been pretty sloppy with his words. You know, I feel like his press team is on full-time cleanup duty with a mop and bucket because they have to continually follow up behind him and say, no, this is what he actually meant. Now, you see what just came out of the DOD press conference where they said how many Americans are in the Ukraine. And they said, you're going to have to get with State Department. The reporter fires back, well, the State Department didn't know either. This administration clearly does not know what they are doing. They do not know what they are talking about. And it is putting Americans at risk. It is completely destabilizing global structures. And this is something that is really pointing to us taking over the House in November as a top priority, because if we can't get the leadership that we need out of the White House, we need to have a strong Congress to combat the sloppiness and carelessness coming out of the White House. It's really a mess.
Yeah, and it's deja vu all over again. They don't know the number of Americans who are in Ukraine. They couldn't specify the number of Americans who are in Afghanistan, but yet we're supposed to trust this administration when it comes to the safety of those Americans who are in Ukraine.
And then he rejects the report on what went wrong with the withdrawal, which is
exactly. Exactly. You know,
go ahead.
Well, and I was just going to say, you know, this notion that there was a successful withdrawal, that the administration keeps peddling this narrative, it's completely false. My team, along with several other congressional members, we're still getting Americans out. It was just a month ago, we got a family of 4 Americans from our district home. And you see today that there's now hostages that have been taken and they're in custody that are both Americans, British nationals. This is a debacle that they will be held to account for. Mark my words. That's all the more reason, again, why a strong Congress with oversight capability needs to be in place as soon as possible.
And what do you think makes that happen in the fall? What issues?
Well, you know, I think Americans are concerned about the kitchen table issues. You know, the fact that inflation is now approaching 7.5%. Seniors are having to make the decision about, do I buy gas or do I buy groceries at the end of the month? You've got working families that are still having to keep their kids at home because schools aren't open. You know, these are real issues affecting everyday Americans. And this administration continues to say that it's the Green New Deal agenda or defunding the police that are top priorities. This is the most out of touch administration I have seen in my lifetime. And that is why I think Americans, regardless of party affiliation, are going to overwhelmingly send Republicans to support them and represent them in Washington, because the Democrats forgot about everyday Americans a long time ago.
All right. Congresswoman Kat Cammack, thank you for joining us.
Hey, thank you so much. And I appreciate the purple touches in your tie and in your shirt there.
So Purple
We're all
Friday.
coordinated today.
That's right.
Thanks.
Thank you.